in one earthly kind of like context, you could look at not just a subject or an object, but those objects and subjects which we are or we interact and we're a part of that play of energies. We could see them having a particular mechanism function, and the mechanism function of just life, of what any object could do, is go in a certain motion or create a certain wave or be a certain conglomerate of particles or vortexes and fortresses together, because that's just like what, quote unquote, the different meanings and contexts of the universe is, end quote. And with that, we're barely beginning to have that relationship with that, in which supersedes the movements and the motions, something like the ocean of consciousness that is like in a secret container of God. And that secret container of God, we're inside out of that, and that which is behind the universe, the real original God, is creating in such a way where everything is just in himself, in a strange way, but somehow maybe in a secret perfect way. But somehow on the perfect opposite layer, the material density reality, respectively, the boom mandala structure, aside from the narratives and the plays thereof that happen above that, theater of the earth plane, etc., and the water plane and the fire and the air plane, respectively, that is the play of consciousness, a whole different, expression of consciousness, of a different function, of how we're all our own objects that have our own movement, and we're creating our own subjects and narratives, and the subjects and narratives on a higher octave are creating us and the objects and the motions within themselves, and them having their own, different yin and yang, depending on like however you're divvying it up to, actually commit and dedicate to self, inner conceive and inner perceive and inner believe and inner retrieve and inner, just unleave what you never had left, because you're already there. And who's like really the thief? It's your emotions, it's your own doubts, it's your own shame, it's you out of balance, it's too much pride, it's too much of a good thing is not necessarily a good thing. But obviously the bad things, sometimes we need that bitter to cancel out a certain different reaction in the alkalinic acidic type of pH energy water in your body, and how it gets contaminated or decontaminated within a different field of light. Because if it's all like connected, then the spectrum of consciousness has a certain particular context of a light going towards a certain format of materiality, and that materiality being, a speck or like one fragment of it is being some type of, original light, not the artificial light, because there's different types of light, as I already had previously explained beforehand, respectively, hyper. And with all that, we're just seeing how there's different movements and motions per different objects of new differentiation and individuation. So there's new objects, but the human being, and you specifically, your unique individual you character of you being that which you already are, we're even more unique than that. But the human itself is like, it's still like, it's all just like, it's a particular type, it's like, it's a context of unique that you are, but there's also other similarities and congruencies that we have with like everything else and all things, or we could have, such as like just the ability to move, have our own movement, go up and down and up. So any object could go down to up or up to down, and they could have their own proclivity like themes, proclivical like type themes. And those type like themes are like, it's seeing what your body is capable to handle as far as the weathers, the temperaments, the energies aside, because we have to really always keep pivoting out of our mind, because life is challenging. Like the format, the surface level of material life, it's challenging, and light is in that, but there's different types of light within different types of surface level, beings and creatures that which you are. And that's why the human is unique in that, in how it's contained certain different types of lights, and you're even more so unique that you're a unique character among a human species race format of the human template to even participate and develop your character over spiritual lifetimes, and your character being developed over spiritual lifetimes, because what you are as a human is supremely unique, because it doesn't have, not only does it have integers of just like, you know, spiritual lives, material lives, or that what so and the whatnot, yada yada yada, ever not so, is like, it's saying like how you're so unique. Like we've lived lives between materiality and spirituality, and what that means is, as we're living lives, different lives through materiality and spirituality, there's different types of purgatory realms subject to how your emotions have frozen you, or some type of nuance or niche has frozen you, and however you've been frozen, that's a unique purgatory for you. And as you're in that unique purgatory, there's a secret proxy ghost character. It's like the shadow of the shadow, kind of, more or less, but a different, it's like just a unique different octave. It's kind of like a Chiron archetype, like, oh shit, I got here too at one stage in my life. This Chiron narrative, this Chiron energy, this Chiron, you know, force field and participation of how it's impacted like a solar system or a galactic narrative, or warfare, war, whatever. And we're seeing how like the Chiron is like how we could have, like, you know, like just had a unique character of us, a unique ghost of us, but like all of them are unique because all of these archetypes within you, they simultaneously don't exist and exist. And as they simultaneously exist and don't exist, we're only uniquely participating with our participation with them, not only on a micro level, but on a secret macro level. And on that secret macro level, we have to see the in-between of the falsehood and the real reality amongst that more true, pure, higher level, respectively, and its different mind, body, soul expressions, and respectively. And within that's what makes up our life. And for me to bring that in pure grace, that's just what it is, you know? So it's like, the planets are going from bottom to up too. So is Mercury in Libra. Thank you.